Episode 401 Meeting Your Idol. Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining me. I hope you're okay. I hope you're well in these strange times. And it looks like things are starting to open up again. It's June 2021 when I'm recording this, so hopefully things are getting better. I'm halfway into my vaccination. I've had one jab and another to go in a few weeks' time. So yeah, episode 401. Pretty crazy stuff actually. I did 400 podcasts. Well, no, I published 400 podcasts. And I had a bit of a hiatus, a little bit of a break, and I didn't know if there was another podcast in me, so to speak. So I let it lie for a while, and then I don't know, a few days ago I was talking to someone, and we got talking about celebrities and famous people, and I don't know, very occasionally, and I think this will happen to most of us, we'll end up in the presence of someone famous, and what do we do? How do you behave? Yeah, I asked this person. I said to her, "Well, yeah, well, who's your big celebrity that you really idolized? It's your idol." And she said it was Taylor Swift. I thought, oh, okay. And what would you do if you was in her presence? And she was like, just go crazy. The first response was, I'll probably pass out, and collapse. The second one was rushing up to her saying, "Oh, Taylor, I think you're amazing. I love your music." Da, 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 So that's interesting. I have probably the polar opposite approach to celebrities and famous people. I don't think there's anybody I specifically say, "Oh man, this is like who's someone who I idolize." No, I don't. I don't think that's true. I think I've got quite a grounded approach because I know they're just like us, aren't they? They just got something that yeah, sets them aside and makes them very popular. And that's something normally as well. It's not rocket science. It's usually well, say they're an actor, an actress, a singer, a musician. They do something that taps into your emotions, and it's emotive, and then boom, it could be a great acting role, it could be an amazing song, maybe that makes you feel happy, makes you feel sad, or just makes you feel moved. And I think that's incredible. That's brilliant. So, but that's why we have these celebrities. I mean, bear in mind, celebrities are just like us, They're yeah, they eat, sleep, whatever. Okay, they've also got something that is incredibly amazing, some talents, but they're not that dissimilar to us. So I did get thinking about how one should behave. So, from my experience, I was in a hotel in Belfast, the Grand Central, and it's the tallest hotel on the island of Ireland. So that's one of the reasons I go there, and also. Well, it's quite luxurious, and yeah, I think Belfast is a really nice city at the moment. Now, obviously with COVID and the travel restrictions, I haven't been going there really pretty much at all. But I will be going back hopefully very soon. And oh, that's the observatory bar there. Fantastic views. It's the 23rd floor of the hotel, the top floor. Great place to relax and chill out and see the sights. But these sorts of rooms I love. The floor to ceiling windows I find are amazing. I don't even turn on the television. I don't watch the big, 42-inch, 50-inch screens. I look out the window and I love seeing the city, whether it's daytime or nighttime. I find, especially at nighttime, when you see activity, if you're staying in the hotel on your own, I find seeing that activity it's quite comforting in some ways. That the world is still running, that it's going, and everything else. I have to say, one of the awful things about COVID was that thing of when you see the cities are empty. It's worse. It's worse than a zombie apocalypse because there's not even any zombies. It's just awful. It's the invisible threat. It's horrible. But yeah, so I'm a big fan of the floor to ceiling window. I do podcasts about how I've been going through some of the tallest hotels in Ireland, and there's not that many, compared to some countries. But anyway, the Grand Central. So I had an experience with a celebrity in the Grand Central. So I mean, they do lovely suites. Don't get me wrong, they're very expensive, but they do lovely suites, and they do some really good high end executive rooms, which are way, way, way less expensive. But what I noticed primarily is the suites and the high-end executive rooms are usually on the 22nd, well, the higher up floors, yeah, they're on the 22nd floor normally. And the only difference between a suite and a high-end executive room is you have to walk further to the toilet. The suites are just massive. It's a lot of walking, Okay, you might get a settee and, another television and a lot of other stuff, but I don't think that they're worth it. But it is worth having the higher floor. And it's not a huge cost. I don't know exactly what the rooms cost, but I mean, for to get a high floor, good view, I think it's only like a £20 supplement. It's not a huge amount, so I often stay there. I don't really get much time off. I do work quite a lot. It's quite rare for me to get a night or 2 nights off. So I'd normally stay there for a night. And I think on this particular occasion, I'd stay there on a Saturday night. And it was Sunday morning anyway, the morning that follows the Saturday. And it was early for a Sunday. It was like 10:30, 11 a.m. But I was getting the lift. I think I was going to check out. I think that's what I was doing. Anyway, I got into the lift. And the lift was empty. And this is before COVID, by the way, so there was no masks or anything of that nature. And the lift started to descend, the elevator. If you're American, lift, elevator, same thing. But what happened, it stopped. It started to stop at, so someone's getting in. So then he got about to the 16th floor, 15th floor, something like that. And a couple got in, and I think I said hello, good morning or something. I'm always very polite. Usually tell when people want to communicate, they might look at you, I don't know. And you say, good morning, or whatever. And I said, good morning. So that was fine. So they still went in there. And then the lift off, it goes again. Now, a lot of the times I've got in this lift, it's been brilliant. It literally, from the 22nd floor to the ground floor, in no time, really fast elevator. And but this time, yeah, it was going to be a bit slower. So as it nearly got to the ground floor, it started slowing down around the third floor, and it stopped on the second floor. Okay, so someone's getting on the second floor. Now, I don't know what the rooms are like on the second floor, if I'm honest. I've never stayed in them. I'm assuming the view is terrible. So my thing would be, it's probably not the most expensive of room, if I'm honest. The second floor. I mean, would you say to somebody, I've stayed on the second floor of a 23-story hotel? Anyway, the doors opened on the second floor. And who walked into the lift? Old Meanie walks into the lift. Oh, I don't know. So, yeah. I don't remember if I said hello or not, or the couple did, but I think he maybe nodded, maybe. He had a newspaper under his arm and no socks on. He did have shoes on. They were the two things I remembered. Well, I remembered a bit more than that, actually, but he had that Sunday morning look about him. The Sunday morning after the Saturday night sort of look, and I knew it well because I had it as well. But he basically turned and he was facing the doors of the lift, and the lift then moved down to the ground floor. And as it did so, I noticed the couple on my right, the woman started gesticulating to her partner. She was sort of nudging and bumping her elbow and pointing because she'd recognised him. She knew who he was. And I'll be honest, he's a very recognisable face. And in this particular photograph that you can see there now, yeah, that's exactly what he looked like. And if you're American, you'll probably know him from Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and The Next Generation. And he's a very recognisable face. I know him from quite a few Irish movies. But anyhow, he was in the lift. And I didn't say anything, and the couple didn't at that stage. So we arrived on the ground floor, and then I made the beeline for the reception to check out and go. And as I did, I could hit the woman with the couple just came up behind him and goes, "I really love your work," and started to give him loads of accolades on his work, which is, I suppose it's fine. And he was very nice, very polite. And I think in the end, she had a selfie with him as well, and I was just I was keeping my head down, minding my own business, because I knew who it was. But you know what? He's a private citizen. He's like myself. He'd be going for breakfast or going to check out. He's got the newspaper. He's probably going to read that whilst he's having breakfast. Does he really want to be hassled by people, I mean, this isn't a meet and greet. This isn't a fandom thing, Maybe he needs a little bit of give him some room there now, And that's why I left him alone. But anyway, as I approached the reception desk to check out, I could hear other people, because it's a public place, the reception in the hotel. Other people start hearing this woman, and then everybody in the reception knew who he was. And then there started these little pockets of people who wanted to say how great he was, how they loved his work, and get a selfie. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, he was really nice to them, and they were fine. They weren't like horrible to him either. They were polite, and I did wonder. I wondered how he felt. What he felt inside. Was he happy for this? This is great. I'm sure he's had it a lot in his career. He's a long career, and I'm sure he's been through a lot of it. But I don't know. He had that Sunday morning look, the same look I had. The look that I didn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be hassled by people. I'm very lucky. I'm a nobody. And no one's going to come to me telling me they love me work or I'm fantastic, which, I'm quite happy with, to be honest. So I did think in the back of my mind that maybe he wasn't overly impressed with this, and maybe he just really wanted to mind his own business and not be messed around. And that's sort of why I wouldn't, I normally don't approach celebrities or people that I recognise or people that I'm a big fan of. I normally leave them alone because the scenarios when I see them, well, it's not a meet and greet. It's not that sort of thing. So anyhow, I started wondering what the answer would be. What's the solution here? I felt the running up screaming and, oh, I'm your biggest fan, and wasn't the approach. And I also thought, well, maybe I'm missing out here by not talking to these people, going through life where, I'm not, maybe I'm missing out, maybe they're missing out, So the friend I have who's a massive fan of Taylor Swift. So this is Taylor Swift, in case you didn't know. I asked her. I said, "Well, what would you do? You collapse, whatever, right? Okay." So then I decided let's build a scenario where we can control, the environment, if you like. And I said to her, "Listen, you've won the lottery, right? I'm not saying she's a multimillionairess at the moment. She isn't. But if you've won the lottery, right? You've decided to book a suite in a hotel on the top floor of a very nice hotel in America. Doesn't matter where. It could be Las Vegas. It could be Los Angeles. It could be anywhere in America. And it's a lovely suite. Oh, my God. You can do everything in this suite. It's the biggest bed you've ever seen. It's got two massive 60-inch televisions. Well, it is America, isn't it? It's got a dining area. Wow, and it's got a desk if you want to do some work after winning the lottery. You want to do some work. But you've been there a few days. You know what? You've had some nice meals in the room, and it's been all right. But you want to get out of the room and you want to chillax somewhere else. You've got your own private lift, elevator. You've got your own private concierge, your own private floor, really. The floor is just for people like you with money, celebrities, musicians, high rollers at the casino. They're all there. But they're all like you. They've been in the room a day or two and they'd like to relax somewhere, and they're wary. They don't want to go down to the public bar. They don't want to be seen by loads of fans and then, attacked. So they need to do something, So the hotel's thought of this. Oh yeah, the hotel have provided for VIPs, celebrities, lottery winners. They've provided this just for you. It's a VIP bar and lounge, and it is magnificent. It's on the same floor as all the suites. It's only accessible by the VIPs, and it's lovely. It's not huge. It's a nice bar, it's got a nice seating area, and you can go there and you can hang out a little bit. You can chill out, have a drink, have a nibble, something to eat, whatever, with the other VIPs. So you do. You've won the lottery. Why wouldn't you? And as you go into the VIP lounge bar, who do you find but Taylor Swift? And she's at the bar and she's sipping on a little drink. Now she's got a couple of her entourage with her. They're just to one side of her, but no hot and heavy security. She doesn't need that in this VIP lounge bar. Of course she doesn't need it. But you, I'm saying to my friend, you are a massive, massive Taylor Swift fan to the point of collapsing if you saw it. And here you are in the room with her. What on earth do we do here? Well, there is the option of going up to her and doing the whole, oh, Taylor, you're brilliant. I think you're fantastic. I love the album. I love this. And saying how great she is, getting a selfie. I'm sure she gets that a lot, and even in VIP circles. But I feel that you don't want to do that. I don't think that's a good idea. And it's not a meet and greet, and she's not there for loads of adoring fans. So my method is more subdued. You just see, oh, that's Taylor Swift, and go and sit down in the corner sipping on a drink. But I think there's a halfway house, something you can do that might satisfy your need to say something to her. And the way I look at it is this: it's a bit like if you're, I suppose, if you're attracted to somebody and you want to sort of break the ice, in a public sort of situation. That's probably the same thing you have to do when you find yourself with Taylor Swift. And my feeling would be is you'd walk up to the bar, quite casual, not too close now, don't be anything that could be classed as aggressive. You walk up to the bar and, oh look, there's an ornate brass bell hanging above the bar, like there is in lots of bars. I think they use it for, was it ringing time or something? I don't know what they use it for. But you could just say, and not even addressing Taylor Swift, but just say, oh, I wonder if they ever ring that bell, And that gives Taylor Swift a lot of options. She can reply to you, or she can just ignore you. And that's fine as well. It's almost like a rhetorical question. There may be no answer. I mean, if you look up into the bell, you might find there's no dongle. The little, whatever it is, the clanger, is it? The little thing that rings the bell. But it's a little icebreaker, You're not saying Taylor, don't say her name. Don't ever say anybody's name. I have to say, I don't like people calling me Jason who I don't know. It's a funny thing. And going back to the Grand Central, I actually had a driver drive me to the Grand Central once. And when I got there, the doorman opened the door for me, and I got in, and he goes, "Oh, good afternoon, Jason." He knew my name. I thought, oh, that's, at first it was quite nice. I'm thinking, how did he know my name? That's pretty good. That's pretty, because I've got a suite here, maybe that's why, But then after a while, I'm sort of, this little thing was coming back to me that I don't know his name. I don't know how he got my name. I'm not famous, And it's a little bit, I don't know if I like that very much. It's a bit like if you got a name badge on, and then someone talks to you, and you see the name badge, and they got your name, but they haven't got a name badge on, though, have they? I don't like that. So anyway, you can't call Taylor Swift Taylor. That's the point. That's a definite no. Back to Taylor Swift again. So you talk about the bell. You know what? It's not really brass. It's actually metal. It's coated in this. I don't know what it is. It looks a bit like it's brass. And it hasn't got a clanger in it either. But that could be a conversation for a different occasion. And once you maybe get a response from Taylor Swift, I think then I know I'm using the full formal name here, Taylor Swift. Well, we're not friends, are we? I can't just say Taylor. That sounds a bit informal. But then, you get a bit of a conversation going, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant, and you get a drink, nothing too intense. You get a drink, and just before you leave to go back to your chair in the corner of the room, you'd say, really great show tonight. I really enjoyed it. And I think the latest album's fantastic. It's really good. And, as you do that, and, as you walk away and sit down, you've done it. You've got it. You've told her, you've told this amazing idol of yours that she does great things. And you should feel good about yourself. I think I would, sitting in the corner, sipping on something cheeky.